Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi guys, today we are going to discuss 30 plus best ways to boost your memory. In this discussion, I'll be talking about different types of memory losses that the people normally have, and we will also be talking about how to control the memory losses, Alzheimer's, dementia, and how to boost your memory for better performance at your job, at your studies, and so on in your general life. So let's see them one by one. Number one, avoid alcohol. Alcohol is related to neurotoxic effects on brain, and it can affect your short-term and long-term memory. So better to avoid it in the long run. You know, hippocampus relates to memory and learning, and this is part of the brain that gets affected when you take alcohol. So better to avoid it, and also take regular exercises so that you can have better control on your brain and mind power. Practice awareness and mindfulness. Remember, mindfulness and awareness are different from meditation. So meditation is different and these things are different. So mindfulness and awareness is a mental state in which you focus on your present situation. So better to focus on, spend some minutes to focus on your present situation, where you are sitting, where you are talking, whatever you are doing, like worshipping, or when you are listening to something like music, like very good, you could say, piece of work, of literature, of art, anything. If you are watching it, if you are looking at it, if you are listening to it, then be present at the present moment and be mindful and be aware of the situation that is all around you right now. 3. Eat less or moderate amount of sugar. You have to take a moderate amount of sugar because higher levels of sugar can affect your memory. The short-term memory and the long-term memory, both can be affected due to higher amount of sugar in your body and in your blood. Now, point number 4 is you have to eliminate the stressors, the things that stress your life, the tensions, the things that bring anxiety in your life. You have to keep yourself away from it. I mean, moderate amount of stress is okay, but if it is high, on a high level, you have to eliminate it. You have to remain away from it. 5. Feed your brain with healthy fat. 50 to 60% of the brain's overall weight is pure fat, and you have to remember that this fat is used to insulate billions of nerve cells that are into your brain. So to replace those cells that are going to die with the process of time, they have to be replaced with good fat. So feed your brain with good fat, the healthy fat, I mean. 6. Visualize the information. For example, you are going to get some new information from somewhere and you are learning it, you are reading something, you are listening to something, you are going to learn something, and then you have to visualize the information in the form of images, in the form of pictures, so that your brain can easily capture them one by one, because words that you are reading, the words that you are listening, they have to be stored into your brain, and the brain stores them in the form of images. So that's why if you visualize the information, it will directly be stored into your memory. If you are able, with the passage of time, to visualize the information in the same way as your brain really thinks, then you can come to a situation where everything you see, everything you read, even a single word, that will be kept in your mind 100%. It will be kept in your mind and nothing will be lost. 7. Make a mind palace of the images. The same, I mean, the point number 6 and 7, they have almost the same implication and have the same almost method, that make a mind palace of the things that you see on daily basis, that you want to remember, that you want to learn, that you want to keep in mind over a long period of time. 8. Read aloud. I mean, if you are a student or if you are like reader and you want to remember something over a long period of time, then read it aloud. It will have double effect. I mean, reading and then listening. Okay, you will be listening, you will be reading. So in two ways, the same thing will be going into your mind. And if you add another thing that I have already told you in point number 6 and 7, visualization and mind palace, making a mind palace. So if you make the images also along with reading aloud, it will add to the effect and it will be highly effective in keeping it in your mind for a long term. 9. Try fish oil. So fish oil, or you could say fish meat, is good for health in many ways, for its fat, for its like omega-3 that is in it, and for other things like EPA and DHA that are very good acids for the body and for the mind also, for the brain also. 10. Maintain a healthy weight. So your weight should not be going towards obesity. Your weight should not be like making you very slim. No. You have to be moderate in weight, and you should not go to, I mean, too much dieting or this type of things to make your brain cells effective, powerful, and healthy. Get enough sleep. It is said that 6 to 8 hours sleep is pretty good, but anyways, if you adopt some modern ways of sleep, psychological ways of sleep, in which you can sleep for less time to make it more effective, it's up to you. But normally, if it is 6 to 8 hours, it is good for your brain muscles, brain cells, and the neurons and the other brain related parts. 12. Make time for meditation. So you have to get time for meditation. Meditation is, a proven method of making your brain much more powerful, and you can use your brain in the best possible way if you do meditate. Meditation can be done in different ways, and it is not necessary to meditate in a particular way as you see on internet or in different videos. It's not necessary. Some people can meditate during, they are worshipping. Some people can meditate even when they are just sitting, or they are lying on bed, they are just walking. Even during walking, you can meditate if you have practice over time. 13. There is another point of maintaining the vitamin D levels in your blood and in your body, because vitamin D deficiency is common in people, and it relates to different cognitive problems and dementia. So better to have more vitamin D. 14. Avoid having refined carbohydrates, because carbohydrates, if they are refined, they are in the form of like cakes, burgers and junk food. So avoid them and try to have the carbohydrates that are found naturally in different eatables, fruits, foods, vegetables and so on. 15. Exercise. Exercise is very important for making your mind very potent, very powerful, because the neurotic cells, the neurons in your brain, the fats in your brain, they have to be more active all the time. And it has been noted that the lazy persons have the dementia problems more often as compared to the people who take regular exercises. 16. Add cocoa to your diet. It makes your brain cells better in their working. 17. Write the same desired idea repeatedly in your copy, in your notebook, so that you can remember it for a long time. Write it again and again and again and again until your mind says that it will never be forgotten from now on. And in this way, if you write the same idea or same thing again and again, say 15 times, 20 times, 30 times maybe, then it will remain in your mind. And your hand by which you are writing it, will also, intangibly, and you don't know about it, you don't have a feeling, it will intangibly be practiced into your subconscious mind, and it will become a part of that program. That will go into your mind, into your brain, and then the subconscious mind will keep it with it, and whenever you will need it, even if it doesn't come to your mind, if you start writing, then you will come to the idea pretty easily in writing. 18. Find ways to tease a friend who doesn't mind. There are different types of friends in your life. Some friends are pretty good. They never mind whatever you do to them or whatever you say to them. Of course, you are not negative in that sense. So, if you have such a friend, such a good friend who doesn't mind and who loves you pretty much, then you can tease him or her, and by teasing, when you are teasing him or her, you are finding different ways to tease, though you are not going to reach at the level, okay, which is intolerable. So remain moderate in that, remain tolerable to him or her. But if you tease and find different ways, different innovative ways rather, to tease him or her, your mind will open up in a pretty good way, and the brain cells, you would feel that your brain cells are working pretty properly. 19. Get brain teasers, puzzles and crosswords, and go into competitions or go into challenges with your friends, with your siblings or whatever, and then you can solve them, and you will see in the end that your brain muscles are getting practiced. They are getting practice, and they are getting more powerful and more, you could say, active. 20. Give time to family and friends. This is very, very, very important, because if you give time to your family and friends. You would, of course, as a byproduct, you would, of course, talk about the past events and the things that came into your life. I mean, in collective life of all the people, the siblings, the friends, and when you would remember or recall the very minor events, or and of course very important events from those incidents, you would actually motivating your and stimulating your brain cells and neurons to remember different things and become more and more active. 21. Avoid caffeine. Just like in the beginning I told you to avoid alcohol, so the same way avoid caffeine, though occasional taking of caffeine may be allowed, but more important thing is that you have to avoid it in the long run and in large quantities. 22. Keep your stomach in order and keep away from consumption. Don't let your stomach have consumption. So if your stomach is in order and you're healthy, I mean there is no other problem health wise, then you can think of having a better memory. 23. Learn a new language. Try learning a new language. I mean, if you speak English, you can learn Spanish, you can learn Russian, you can learn Arabic, you can learn Chinese, Indian, or whatever. So if you go for learning a new language, you would see that your brain cells, your neurons, your the whole lot of brain and its different parts like hippocampus, hypothalamus, everything that will be, they will be more active and more functional in this way. 24. Listen to music or writing that stimulates your mind and that calms down your mind and that motivates your mind to think and meditate and think of very deep thoughts. And if you have this type of music, this type of work of art, it may be like a piece of literature, piece of art. If you have this type of things, then it will also motivate your brain cells and neurons to be more effective, to be more powerful for you. 25. Play chess. If you have a friend, sibling, or anyone who knows chess and start playing chess with him or her, it will be very good. And if you don't have, you can go online and play chess with computer, and this game will open up different channels of your mind and you will be very happy after playing it. Even if it takes long, you would be very happy to see the teasers, the brain teasers, the things that you would have to be meditating during playing chess, that would be very, very effective for your mental power. 26. Free your mind of all the things and make it blank for 3 to 5 minutes. This is very important. Some people, the religious people who worship, during worshipping, they just make everything blank in their minds, and they think of God or the super creature who has created everything. So this is one way. The other thing is, you can simply make your mind blank for 3 to 5 minutes. If you can do this and you don't think anything at all in the world, just make it blank for 3 to 5 minutes. It will be pretty much effective in making your brain too much powerful. 27. Get a play script of any writer that you like. Get his or her play script, or even novel you can get, or fiction, whatever, or a short story even, and then read it 2 or 3 times until it sticks in your mind. And then after it gets stick in your mind, then you can go ahead and start performing before camera. Switch on the front of your camera and then start recording, and then try remembering everything and speaking fluently. This is very important. You have to be speaking fluently. You could say there should be no hesitation in speaking the dialogues of different characters and the monologues of different characters. You have to speak it fluently. If you are able to do so, you would see in the end, after this practice, after this brain exercise, you would feel that your brain cells would be more active for the short term and the long term memory. 28. Consider eating turmeric root. Turmeric root contains curcumin, which is very important substance that contains polyphenols, and which is an antioxidant that is also anti-inflammatory, and it is very good for brain cells. 29. Use anti-inflammatory foods in your diet. This is because if you eat anti-inflammatory foods, your brain cells would be more active, and they would be like more powerful in remembering things. 30. The last point. Avoid high energy artificial drinks and supplements, because the high energy artificial drinks and the supplements, they would be beneficial maybe for the short time in bringing energy into your brain or into your muscles, into your body, but they have negative effect on your brain cells, on your neurons. Now there is a test of your mind right now. If you remember, I told you in the beginning that I would be telling you a bonus point. I mean, in addition to these 30 points, I would be telling you another point. So here is the bonus point. It's very, very important. Just listen to it. And it does work to boost your memory, to make your brain more active, the neurons more active, and the brain cells more powerful and potent. So here is the point. Sit before camera, just like I'm sitting right now. So sit before camera and look here. This is the location of your third eye. Look over here, this point. Look over here for just 21 seconds. Just 21 seconds, not more. And then after you look over here and just forget everything around you, make your mind blank and just focus on it. With high focus, think of different events of the past, of the current life or whatever, of your environment, about your siblings, about your parents, about your partner, whatever. And then think of the issue or the issues, and then think about them in the form of pictures, in the form of images, in the form of visualized images. And then do this exercise only for 21 seconds or less, not more than 21 seconds. And secondly, make it sure that you don't do this exercise again during the same month. So you can repeat it after 2 or 3 or 5 months or 1 year, but don't do it again in the same month. Thank you very much. See you again.